you on my screen, because right now you are seeing whoever is talking. I don't know. Like I said,
yeah,
I have to.
I know what you're talking about. I saw the setting for that.
Yeah, because you are the host. So since you are the host, you have the control of that.
Right.
Sorry, Bibi.
Mute everybody too when everybody comes on.
I know. Oh my God. Wait, how do we see everybody? Robin, how do you have that behind you?
Which one?
Girl, I'm in California.
He was my first baby.
My puppy.
First baby.
You know what I'm saying? Look at all the kitties.
Is this gonna be like all the ROP meetings?
Going on, Rob? I'll get out. I'm not part of this.
No, stay with us. Come on in. Okay, I figured it out. So if you can hear me, wave. Just make sure I'm on. Okay, good. Oh, well, that worked. And you can unmute yourself or raise your hand. I'm just kind of figuring this out. It's my first time on this too.
Oh.
So this is really awkward, but I'm gonna make an attempt at this. So anybody who's watching the replay, this is going to be some good entertainment for you. Because the first 15 minutes were kind of fun, just seeing what everybody looks like and what's going on. Kids are all sleeping. Some of them. Oh, some of them woke up. There they are. So you've probably been following, and you may know a lot of what's going on from the perspective of small business. The one portion that I keep talking about is the PPP, which is the Payroll Protection Plan, and that is specifically for small businesses. The intent of it is specifically to keep payroll going. It's mostly for payroll. So they leave a little bit of it for rent and utilities, but it's primarily to pay payroll. So from going back to the very beginning of it, when they first were talking about putting it into law, I've been following it very closely, and obviously many of you have too, and they passed it, it's a law, and now we're trying to figure out how to navigate the system to actually have the money. So we qualify in every way possible, and the best part of the whole thing is the fact that it pays, it gives us money to pay a full or regular payroll. Now, they don't have specific details on how exactly that's calculated. They have our application. The bank has our application. We have, they've been in communication with me again today. Our bank has not submitted any yet, but there's no reason why I think, oh wow, we're running out of time. Holy shit, I didn't even think of that. Oh no. What does that mean? Because we only have a 40-minute time limit, and I goofed around all that time. Okay, well, how much time do we have left? I can't tell. I just got a little indicator on there that said your time is almost up. I'll just go until it tells me I can't, and then I'll create another one and just put the link up there. I'll create one more if this ends, and I'll put the link on the page. Somebody will help me with that. All right, where was I? Okay, bank has our forms. None of the people who've gotten approval at any bank or at any part of the country have gotten the money yet. Some businesses have been, told they're 100% approved, like the SBA has their money. So there's two sides of it. A lot of businesses are just saying, well, I'll just wait. The reason why I think it benefits us, and I think it's the best option for us, is that it is close to or at your regular rate of pay. The caveats to it are everybody who is on our payroll or everybody who's currently working at the company right now has to be here the whole time. So our numbers can't drop. Nobody can take a pay cut, and our numbers can't drop. So they specifically made it that way so that businesses didn't take advantage of the system, by fraudulently doing it, I guess, taking money out of the system, or just taking all the money and saying, well, I laid off half my people. The purpose of it is to have everybody be paid and not go through unemployment. So the problem now, obviously, is the fact that this thing is delayed. So that, was my expectation was that we would be able to have something by today, and we don't. So there's a payroll that's due tomorrow, and some people have worked, have hours from this pay period. The other part of that is the other part of this money, which is a significant amount, because you go back and you calculate, the way they have us calculate it, anybody who's seen it, is you average your payroll for the last, let's see here, sorry. I could hear somebody. You average your payroll for the last 12 months, and then you multiply that by 2.5, and they come up with an average, and the bank has to agree on that, and they have to check all your numbers and make sure. And we have some seasonality involved in it too, so that plays into the calculation. So I don't know the exact numbers, but it looks good in terms of everybody in our company anyway. So I guess the second part of that was, let me see, I forgot. Oh, I know what it is. So all of the money, if we get the money and we do not use it within that time period, within those 8 weeks, the loan, it's called a loan, but if we use it properly, it's forgiven, meaning that, we don't have to pay it back. If our numbers drop and if people go below, if people, I guess, as an employer, if we said, okay, we only need half of you or something like that, that's their catch-all to say, okay, well, you didn't use it for payroll on the people that you had, so it's not going to be forgiven. You owe it back. So it's kind of a problem that way, because if people don't stay, if everybody doesn't stay during that 8-week period, then we're penalized for that, which is why it's good too. But there's also now the question is, some people have brought up, because it looks kind of weird, because unemployment says, oh, well, we're going to pay you $600 from the federal government a week, and whatever the state's going to pay you too. So I don't know how that plays into this. I do know that it would penalize us, or penalize this program anyway, for people to go on to that. But at the same time, like, would they allow that to happen? I don't know, because it's an enticing thing for somebody, because they're even saying if you're part-time that you can get unemployment for $600 plus $275.
So Rob, just to stop you right for 1 second. So basically what you're saying is, for PPP to work, none of us should be filing unemployment, correct?
Well, correct. Okay, people could have already, and they might have. I don't know. I haven't talked to everybody in the last couple of days, and people might have been scared, might have gone to do that, and I get it. I don't, right now at this point, I don't think that's going to penalize us if we get the money. Like, if I got the money Friday and ran a payroll and everybody got paid, they couldn't collect on both. Usually the way unemployment works is they'll contact me and say, does this person still work there? Well, obviously no place is open right now, but
Wilson Lighting is, but that's fine.
Oh, wow, they still are. Wow.
Yeah, they're doing it.
So if places don't, if they, how it normally works with unemployment, if you say, yeah, I'm still paying them, then the unemployment money, doesn't usually work. But they're changing the rules on everything right now, so I don't know. And there's not a lot of guidance to it. I just keep looking every day because it keeps changing. There's another 4-hour conference call with the CPA and a bunch of other business owners today to try to figure out what they're interpreting the law as, because it keeps changing, and there's so many little pieces to it. They when they threw it all together, they didn't think of. And obviously, I get it, because made it happen pretty quick. So there's two parts. One is, obviously payroll this week. So, I want to go back to that for a second. So there's people who worked during this pay period who are due payroll tomorrow. The thing about that is if we run a regular payroll tomorrow, the money that goes out for that will not be allowed to be counted towards that PPP money. Now, if we can get it by the end of the week, great. If we can't, my thought was to, I know people need money, and all of you, is to maybe do it as an advance, so it doesn't show up as a payroll dollar. And then when the money comes in, we apply it to that. And the reason for that is because it's not it doesn't show up as a business expense. It actually, we're getting help for it too. So nobody will lose. If anything, they'll gain, because we're going to get that extra week and then the next 8 weeks on top of that. So right now I'm just kind of in a holding pattern with the whole thing, because we're just in a line at the bank. They have all their applications in, and they're just putting them through one at a time. And, I'm sending them lunch every day, like big trays of food, saying, we love you. We're here to help you. We'll do whatever we can to make the process easy for you. I'm not going to call and yell at you. I'm just want to let you know. And it's First Florida Integrity Bank on the headquarters is on Pine Ridge Road. So holding pattern on that side. So I guess any questions up to that part? So you can unmute yourself, or I can unmute everybody. If there's any, I see a hand raised, so I'm just going to unmute everybody and somebody talk. I think unmute all. Okay. Or maybe I just muted all.
Muted.
There we go.
Unmuted.
You
There we
can
go.
press the call to unmute us all at the same time.
Okay.
I'm having the best night of my life.
You like this?
This is fun. I get to see people.
I do like that part of it. It's pretty cool. It is. To see everybody in their home.
So I have a question. So Rob, just to clarify, tomorrow's payroll, we won't see that tomorrow then? The ones that did work?
No, you will. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Venmo money out. So that's how I'm going to do it. So you're going to get money, but I just going to put it
Rob,
out.
where is it come? Rob, where are you sending Venmo money from?
What's that?
Where are you sending us Venmo money from? Well,
we took some money in over the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to Venmo from that account there. We took some in. And so how I want to do it is to I won't count it as payroll until we know what this is, but there's people got to get bills paid. I know some of you, need that. And but at the same time,
if it's coming from you, let us know.
We had some sales over the last 2 weeks, and there were people who worked during that time period, and then there's reserve. So I just got to be smart about it, because I know one of the landlords is up my ass already, and
Rude.
He's not getting any money. I'm not giving him any. He's last in line, and but he's already being.
Is it Kevin fucking Stoneburner?
It's fucking Stoneburner.
No, Kevin's okay. Kevin's not being bad.
It's the village. I guarantee the village.
It's the village. I bet you it's the village.
Okay, you're right.
And I think the guy he's over leveraged.
He's just an
borrowed so much money to buy it that he can't skip a beat. But what's kind of odd to me in this whole thing is that landlords, everybody's taking a hit. Everybody up the chain is taking a hit, but landlords don't for some reason. I don't get why they don't. It stops right with landlords. They're the only ones that aren't saying look, I'm going to work with you a couple of weeks or whatever. I don't understand it.
No, actually, legally, he has to. He can't evict you. You can stop paying right now.
No, Maria.
I know, but there's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
It is. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
It starts from the bottom, because they're saying mortgage companies should lax on mortgagees, and then rents should be lax. But then at the same time, sometimes landlords do take a hit. But if we all did it at the same time, it would make sense. But if we don't, then it sucks.
I'm just saying they can't evict them.
So a lot, no,
Or
they
there's even a
can't.
conversation
No,
that they have
they
with
can't
people.
evict you, but they can say, okay, you don't have to pay this month, but next month you pay double. So it's not necessarily like they're doing
Sure.
it.
But it'll help at least this month.
And that's
Or
like
this
just,
month anyway, because it's not open.
that's
All
like
right,
just
mute us
talking to
again.
people.
We should get.
So that's like just talk. All I'm asking for is to just communicate, and right away, don't turn into a hard ass about it, because everybody's in the same boat. I know that I expected that from him anyway. I did expect that in any case. So to answer the question about tomorrow, the intent was to be able to have you be paid more than just that 1 week, and that's what I'm still going to have happen with the PPP, because I've calculated it a few different ways of how everybody would be paid, but they still haven't given me exact guidance on what's going to go on. So I'm going to take the higher of it all, whether they take last year and, maybe you weren't here this year or last year or sometime up. That's not going to that's not going to hurt anybody, because everybody's going to be taken care of with it. And because they don't know and they don't have strict guidelines to it, I know there's some leeway with it, so that I can plead our case anyway as to how it works, because this is a unique situation that we don't sell. Restaurants have food. They sell, but the biggest portion of their bills are food costs, usually, not payroll. We're one of the few businesses where it's you are the business. It's made up of people. So our people are the business. So that is the payroll aspect of it. So this really benefits us in a very big way, fortunately, which most of these never ever do. They never take care of, usually when they do help businesses out, they help them out with like tax credits on cost of goods sold, which we don't have a lot of. It's like shampoo, so it wouldn't help us. So this is unusually designed perfectly for us, and to the fact that when things do come back, whenever that may be, it's even better, because a restaurant or another business has to immediately buy a bunch of stuff to start up again, a bunch of meat and steaks and all the rest. They're going to spend a ton of money in the beginning. None of that money can go towards that. None of this money that we're getting, it can only go to people. So that's why it's great, and I want to have it work for us, because that's why I think it's the best option. Just now, these couple of days here, and they haven't specifically said, hey, if somebody goes and collects unemployment, can they come back off unemployment? Yeah, I'm sure they can, because they are going to look at our numbers a couple different ways. They're going to look at how many people we had right before this went off and how many people we had after, and they do an average. They're not just going to take whether a person's full-time or part-time. So we'll average that out. Anybody sleeping? Did I put anybody to sleep? Maria, you okay over there? You look like you're sleeping. I'm just checking on you. Just making sure to put you to sleep. That's all. Here, hold on a second.
We're all on mute.
Jess is entertaining us enough.
Not Jess.
Jess, you okay?
Okay, so if you get Venmo, make sure you have Venmo handy. Even if you're not going to use it tomorrow, just make sure you have that, because that's going to be a kind of quick access for us anyway.
Rob.
Yeah.
Don't do that now. I don't do that.
Listen, I need it.
Yeah, I have that.
Speak for your damn self.
I had to unmute myself. I don't know technology. Listen, I only have to do Zoom because I have to do it every Monday, and I did it.
Our 70-year-old clients Venmo.
Venmo is really easy.
So you have to download Venmo to be able to get paid for what you work?
Listen, Boomer, download Venmo.
Yeah, so
You don't get your paycheck. No big deal, Robin. Then you don't want your money.
I can't hear.
Okay, so the Venmo question. So what I'm going to do is give those who need it, I'm going to call it in advance. It's really your paycheck, okay? I'm going to call it in advance for the sake of this PPP, because instead of just getting 1 week or whatever you worked over the past 2 weeks, the intent is that you get 2 or more through the whole time. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So I'm going to Venmo you whatever money you need or you're owed through Venmo. When this thing goes through, and I'll tell you about it every single day because it's been my whole existence is studying the 800-page law book with them to try to get this to work. Then immediately within 48 hours of that, there will be a full payroll that's run on the regular way, which is, all either full-time or whatever their calculation is. And that will go for 8 weeks. So whatever the start date is till 8 weeks after that. And then they do the calculation. All right. I have any more questions. Okay. So was that part clear?
What you're saying is that either way, everybody's going to get paid. It's either they get paid tomorrow through Venmo, or you wait until we get the money or the money from the government, and then they can get paid via that way for time off as well.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
Hey, Rob, I have a question.
Yes.
I still don't get it.
My dad keeps like harassing me for signing up for unemployment, and I keep telling him that I can't sign up because Rob's going to do the PPD. What do I tell my dad? Because Bob Duncan is relentless.
Getting paid. You're getting paid on Venmo tomorrow.
Right?
More than you would. Unemployment's only $275 still.
Yeah,
that's what
I was trying to explain to him.
But here's the point.
Like
Tomorrow is not going to be like a full time from when you didn't work, like because you haven't gotten that money yet. If you got paid tomorrow via Venmo, it's going to be like a partial for whatever hours you worked when we were open.
Yes.
So continuing that, once we get this money, you will get paid hours that you didn't work that we've been coronavirus.
Okay, let me say something else about that because this is important. Whoever else, if there's anybody having a hardship or anybody who needs money now, please let me know. You don't have to do that now, but let me know that, and we'll take care of that because you don't need to go. But I mean, $275 a week right now. The federal money's not going to be. The federal money's not coming in for who knows when. That's the $600 a week, but I think $275. Most people couldn't even get on the website for the $275. I know that keeps crashing. So, please talk to me. I know a couple of you I've already talked to, and whoever else there is. Tell me, and it's okay to tell me. Like, don't be shy about it. We'll work it out. I have money aside for that, and we want to. It's just my goal initially was to have everything done by tomorrow. That's not happening. It's clear that that's not going to happen with all the fiasco that's going on with the banks. I'm grateful for the fact that we're with First Florida Integrity because I know that, I'm talking to a human being there, not an 800 number. They're right around the corner. They tell me that my application's in. They have it. I know, where it is and all the documentation. I know more about the thing than they do. So I feel confident with that part. Also, they came on today and said, hey, if this money starts to run out, we're going to add more money to it. So the federal government's not going to cap it. They're not going to say that. I know they're already talking about it. And we're so early in that I don't think that's even going to be an issue for that. So if you hear that,
Oh, for sure. And the federal government, to add to that, Rob, because I do watch a lot of the news, they're talking about adding more to the $350 billion that they allotted for the small business loans. They're only $75 billion in. They're going to add more to that. So no one fret. I don't get Venmo. I don't understand it. I'm not in a hardship. I don't know how many of us are in hardships, but Rob, thank you so much for what you're doing because, and as my husband's listening to this too, he also works for a small business. What you're doing is going above and beyond what a lot of people are doing. So we are very blessed and very thankful to have a boss like you because you care. And like, I literally can rest my head at night knowing that I work for an amazing man like you and an amazing family. So thank you for what you're doing. And I just I don't really have to think about, I may not get Venmo, I may not get technology, but I love you and I trust you and I know everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. Mike's right here the whole time and it's been like, damn, can I work for you? Listening to all this.
Can I say something, boss?
Please.
Yeah, me here. Listen, I haven't been work for the last week, and
I'm not even dying for that money. So if I understand right, please excuse my beautiful French accent. If I understand right, and we sign for the unemployment, because I know many people is asking me for the same thing, that might hurt the business. I don't know anything about law. So the smart thing to do here is to support you. You are doing all the work that you can do, and please just be patient. There is nothing on your hands. You have to wait for all that money to come. I know that everybody needs the money. Everyone. I'm telling you, for the last 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, I haven't been work, so I need the money as same as you. So let's wait until Rob, figure out when we have that money, so we don't hurt the business, because we're gonna need the job anyway. Just be smart. In 4 weeks, we're gonna be working, God wants, or 6 weeks, and everything is gonna come back, to normal. So let's everybody agree with this situation. We're gonna support you, Rob. Personally, I'm gonna support you, and I know that many people here. And whatever you said, because you are the guy here, whatever you said that I have to do, I'm gonna do that. I just wanted you to know that.
Thanks. Yeah, I just to know that, just to make sure that anybody who, that money, that unemployment money might look really good at the moment, especially right now in the situation you're in. So please, let me know, and you can let me know right after this call. You can text me or email me. So if I know what you need and that part's taken care of. So I'm not asking you to sacrifice that part of it, because I know this is coming. I know that it's going to be here for us, and I think it's awesome, because it'll give such peace of mind over this time period where it's crazy. It's so weird being at home all this time. It's a whole new lifestyle, and it's just, I don't know. It's a big adjustment. It's a big adjustment. And I can't imagine what it's like with kids 24 hours a day. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever done that before. You got to be going out of your mind. I know you love your kids, but boy, that'd be tough. To not have a break, to not have a break. Just a break. I can't go get something from Instacart or anything, like all that stuff I like, and craving bad junk food and stuff. I can't get it off.
It's called being on maternity leave. A bunch of us have done it several times. We're used to it. Yeah, raise your hand. Yeah, we all know. We've all been isolated before. It's fine.
It's been a while.
So for some reason, this thing let us go longer. I don't know why, but
it was so nice to see human beings and faces, but you need to make sure everybody understands that.
Yeah, and so if maybe you're not saying on the call, and that's okay, send me a message after, like if something wasn't clear.
Like if something's not clear, like make sure you communicate to him. Like, this man hasn't slept for like 20 days. So if something doesn't make sense to you, like communicate, please. Like, this guy cares about you.
Yeah, and I don't want you to feel like you're backed into a corner about something, because this is something that has to be. It's gonna work. I know it's gonna work, and it's exciting. I'm proud of the fact that we'll get to say that, because here's the other thing. On the other side of this, what's fascinating to me is the demand. I can't tell you the way our phones and email and every form of communication is blowing up without you. These women want to risk their lives to be with you. It is incredible. We've had 87-year-old women show up at the salons trying to open the door to get their hair done, risking their life. It's crazy. And they need you, love you, and I think the demand is going to be over the top, even though a lot of people will have left. So coming back into this, however that all works, because I don't know what life's going to be like. I don't know how things will go, but we will adapt, and just the same way we're adapting with, getting their gray coverage now, and, creating how business is going to look each day. It's a new day. So whatever questions you have that didn't get answered here, let me know. I'm sure there are things I wanted to say that I couldn't think of, or things that will come up, because this guy will go on tonight at 11 o'clock. The guy I've been communicating with, the CPA, he's in Oklahoma, JJ the CPA, and he will have gone over everything that's gone on today with the White House and with the Department of Treasury and with the banks, and let me know, where things are at, what we need to do, and what changes we need to make. And I'll update you on that too. So, and then I'll post the next call. So, yeah, if either way, it would help. It would be really useful for me either through that email, that help email. If you could just send me a sentence on there after the call and just tell me where you're at with it. Like, yeah, this is good. I like the direction, or yeah, let's answer this question or that question, because I can post that on the site too, the website. That's useful for me to know where people are, because I'm isolated too, and I don't know what's going on with all of you, and that not seeing you, hearing you, being with you is really hard, because that's how I get us. That's how I know where we're at as a culture, a company, and a family, is when I'm with you. And not being with you is hard. It's hard to know where we are, how you are, how life is, and so I'd like to hear your summary or a sentence or two after this, if you can do that. Okay, any last, I'm going to unmute everybody and just let everybody
I love
go.
you. And it's so nice to see human beings that look pretty at 9 o'clock at night. You all look great. It's 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Rob.
Oh, I did it again. Hold on. There we go. Unmuted. Okay.
Thanks, Robin.
Your first successful Zoom meeting where you had to unmute and mute again.
Oh, I feel like you'll feel when you join Venmo. You'll be like, my first successful Venmo.
Yes. I don't know if I can do that. Like, I just now started doing Zoom, so that seems a little bit like too far-fetched for me. Like, it's a lot at one time.
Hi, baby. You are an angel. God bless you. Don't worry, everything be all right. God prosper you. In the name of Jesus, I declare your company big up in the name of Jesus. Yeah.
Keep sending me prayers.
And everybody too. Soon we'll be together again.
It's so nice to see you.
Blessing in the everybody life, and keep safe, healthy, strong. I declare everything be all right.
Love you, Maria.
You are the most smart man. You
David,
are
on your
from
forehead.
God. You take care. You take us, and God. You are the angel God put for everybody.
That was David's forehead.
Oh, thank God for
Keep sending me prayers.
Oh, thank God.
And thank God for David's forehead. Just your forehead. And your nostrils. Awesome. Come on.
Okay. I love you guys. It's so nice to see you people.
Peace out.
You cute humans are like the cutest humans ever.
All right. Who wants to join like a after hours party?
Can I come, please?
I'll bring. Is there beer?
I don't know. I'll be there.
If I knew how to start a Zoom meeting, I'd do like an after hours party.
I feel like I'm hanging out with people.
ROP after dark.
That's right.
Bye. I love you. I have to go take care of children.
Why?
Okay, there's the hand wave.
do
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye, Father. You're the best Father. I love you.
All right. Love you all.
Thank
I'll see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.
I don't know how to leave. Really don't know how to leave. Oh, there we go. There we go.
How do you leave?
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. I love you. I miss you.
The meeting.
Maria.
Hi. Wait.
Maria, it's just you and me. We are the last one. And Rosa. Hi, Rosa. Love you.
Hi. Wait, okay. Did he finish?
Huh?
Wait.
Yeah, he finished. He finished.
Oh,
He left. Everybody left.
Bye.
Bye.